Have you ever wondered, in the middle of a quiet afternoon, or as you watch a loved one laugh across the dinner table, what truly makes a good life? Not the life you're told to want, the one framed in golden ambition and broadcasted success, but the one that actually fills your chest with warmth and your soul with peace. Somewhere between the slow rhythm of shared meals and the serenity of a morning walk lies a question we all must confront. Is the good life really about wealth and fame? Or is it about something simpler, something more enduring? What if everything you've been told about a good life is a lie? What if the chase for wealth and fame is the very thing that ruins it? You've been conditioned to believe that success is measured in decimal points and followers, that your value lies somewhere between your bank balance and your recognition in the eyes of strangers. But Marcus Aurelius warned of this illusion. It is quite possible to be a good man without anyone realizing it. So ask yourself, why do you need them to know? Why must your worth be shouted from rooftops if your soul is at peace? The modern world has twisted your instincts, turned your yearning for virtue into a hunger for applause. You scroll endlessly, not seeking wisdom, but seeking a mirror that reflects back your imagined significance. You work yourself to exhaustion, not for excellence, but for envy, hoping someone out there resents your success enough to validate it. And yet, in the stillness of night, when your phone dies and the crowd is gone, do you feel fulfilled or just temporarily distracted? Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." So how rich are you truly if your mind is constantly restless, your spirit perpetually unsatisfied? Wealth without wisdom is a gilded cage, and fame without virtue is a shadow chasing the sun. You might have millions, but still be bankrupt in character. You might be praised by the world, but loathed by your own conscience. You might walk red carpets while stepping over the broken pieces of your integrity. Epictetus warned against attaching your happiness to things outside your control, your reputation, your income, your status, because the moment those things slip, they take your soul with them. And isn't that what's happening? The more you acquire, the more anxious you become. The higher you rise, the more terrified you are to fall. And in that constant fear, you forget to live. You become a slave, dressed as a master. What makes a good life is not gold or glory, it is clarity. The clarity to know what truly matters. The clarity to say no to what dazzles the eyes, but darkens the heart. A good life is found in self-mastery, in rising each day not to impress others, but to surpass the self you were yesterday. It is found in discipline, in living by principles that are immune to external praise or condemnation. The Stoics called it living in accordance with nature, not trees and rivers, but your own true nature, reason, virtue, courage, justice. Have you ever sat in silence long enough to hear what your soul actually needs? Or do you drown that voice with noise, busyness, and the endless scroll of meaninglessness? You were not born to be famous. You were born to be free, free from dependence, from illusion, from needing the world's permission to be whole. The man who owns little but needs nothing is infinitely more powerful than the man who owns the world but is a prisoner to his desires. Wealth can be a tool, yes, but only in the hands of one who no longer craves it. Fame can amplify a message, but only if that message is born of inner truth, not outer insecurity. Otherwise, both become poisons, sweet at first taste, deadly in the long run. Look around. How many of those you admire are truly at peace? How many sleep soundly, not from exhaustion, but from contentment. The good life is not a performance. It is a private victory, invisible to the crowd, but undeniable to the soul. It is found in unshakable character, in keeping promises when no one is watching, in doing the right thing when it costs you. You will be tempted. You will be lured by the glitter of recognition, the rush of applause. But remember this, the applause fades, the riches rot, only virtue endures. William Irvine wrote of the trichotomy of control, that the good life focuses on what we can control, accepts what we can't, and knows the difference. Can you let go of needing to be admired? Can you find joy in simplicity, power in restraint? The man who has conquered his impulses is greater than the one who has conquered cities. Stop chasing what rusts. Stop yearning for what you cannot keep. Begin the harder pursuit, the inward one. Ask yourself what you would die for, then live for that. Stand guard at the gates of your mind. Filter every decision through the lens of honor. Let each day be a testament, not to your wealth, but to your wisdom, not to your fame, but to your fortitude. You were not made to drift. You were made to stand unmoved, unbought, unbroken. That is the good life, to stand with clean hands and a clear conscience, to walk through fire and emerge with your soul intact. You will lose things along the way, popularity, possessions, people who misunderstood you. Let them go. Let them all go. And in the clearing that remains, you will find the only thing that ever mattered, the quiet strength of a life well lived. And maybe then, as you sit beside someone who knows your flaws and loves you still, as you breathe deeply without pain and think clearly without regret, you'll realize the good life was always this: a warm hand in yours, a sound mind in your head, and a body that still carries you forward with grace.